"This prescription looks altered, sir, and it's handwritten. We can't accept it. It's probably fake," the pharmacy technician declared, her voice sharp with suspicion. Before Sergeant Alistair Finch, 78, could protest, she tore his doctor's valid handwritten prescription for heart medication neatly in half. "Store policy," she added coolly, dropping the pieces into the trash. "You'll need a new typed one from your doctor." Alistair stared, speechless at the blatant destruction and accusation. 6 minutes later, as he stood shakily outside the pharmacy making a call, a uniformed military officer with a medical insignia and a stern expression walked through the doors, heading straight for that technician. "If you believe veterans deserve care, not contempt, type honor below." Alistair "Al" Finch was a man of quiet habits and deep integrity. His small, meticulously kept apartment brimmed with military history books and thriving houseplants. At 78, his movements were slower, his hands occasionally trembling, a lingering effect of a nerve injury sustained during his service as a Vietnam combat medic. He relied on several medications to manage his heart condition and chronic pain, prescriptions diligently provided by his trusted VA doctor, Dr. Aichi Ramirez, a physician who still preferred the personal touch of handwritten scripts for certain controlled renewals. That afternoon, Al was returning from his monthly checkup with Dr. Ramirez, a fresh handwritten prescription for his vital heart medication folded carefully in his wallet. It was a beautiful spring day, so he decided to stop at Health First Pharmacy, a large chain on his bus route, rather than trek to the VA pharmacy. He'd used Health First for over-the-counter items before, efficient if impersonal. He anticipated no issues. He just needed his medication, the one keeping his aging heart steady, the one Dr. Ramirez had just confirmed was essential. The pharmacy counter was moderately busy. Al waited patiently, observing the brisk, harried interactions between staff and customers. When his turn came, he approached the counter where Brenda, a young technician, was working. Brenda prided herself on spotting problem prescriptions, her keen eye often fueled more by suspicion than evidence. "Next," she called, not looking up. Al stepped forward. "Good afternoon. I'd like to fill this, please," he said, handing her the prescription and his VA insurance card. Brenda unfolded the slip, and her expression hardened. "Handwritten?" she questioned, tone already accusatory. "Sir, almost all prescriptions are electronic now, and this one—" She held it to the light like counterfeit cash. The inks smudged. "Are you sure this is legitimate?" Al stiffened. "Of course it's legitimate, young lady. My doctor, Dr. Ramirez at the VA, wrote it an hour ago. It's for my heart medication, Dr. Ramirez, huh?" Brenda eyed the script skeptically. "We get a lot of fakes using VA doctors' names, and this handwriting's difficult." She tapped the paper. "Looks altered. We have strict policies about questionable prescriptions, especially for heart meds." "Altered? Fake?" Al's indignation flared. "That's a standard prescription from a licensed VA physician. Call his office. The number's right there." He pointed to the VA letterhead. Brenda ignored him. Her mind was made up. "Sir, I'm not filling this. It doesn't meet our security protocols. Could be a forgery." Before Al could react, she tore the slip neatly in half, then tore the halves again. "Store policy for suspicious prescriptions. Retain and destroy to prevent misuse," she recited coolly, dropping the pieces into the trash. "Go back to your Dr. Ramirez for a new one, typed and electronic. We can't help you." Al stared at her, then at the trash bin. His medication destroyed. The casual accusation, the disregard for his health, the dismissal of his doctors. "Authority! It was staggering! You just tore up my legal prescription?" he stammered, voice trembling with shock and anger. "It was suspicious, sir," Brenda said, already turning to her screen. Next, the pharmacist, Mr. Henderson, emerged, briefly from the back but vanished again, oblivious. Al stood frozen. He needed that medication within days. Getting another appointment with Dr. Ramirez would be difficult. Helplessness crested into cold, determined fury. This wasn't an error. It was negligence. Abuse of power. He walked out without another word, heart pounding from more than his condition. On a bench outside, he fumbled with his old cell phone, hand shaking too much to dial. Then he remembered. A number from a VA town hall, the Regional VA Patient Advocacy and Medical Compliance Office for urgent medication access issues. He took a steadying breath and dialed. A calm voice answered. VA Regional Medical Compliance. Officer Miller speaking. How can I assist you? Al explained succinctly. His name, his VA doctor, the heart medication, Health First's location, Brenda's accusation, and the destruction of his valid prescription. He stressed the medication's urgency. Officer Miller listened without interruption. Sergeant Finch, he said, using Al's retired rank, this is unacceptable. A clear violation of patient rights and VA pharmacy agreements. Destroying a valid script is egregious. Are you still near the pharmacy? Yes, outside. Remain there, Sergeant. A tri-service medical compliance officer is en route. ETA under 10 minutes. They'll handle this directly. Do not re-engage the staff. The call ended. 6 minutes later, a dark blue sedan with government plates pulled up. A tall man in a U.S. Army Class A uniform, Lieutenant Colonel insignia and caduceus medical pin gleaming, stepped out. Sharp-eyed and no-nonsense, he scanned the area, spotted Al, and strode over. "Sergeant Finch?" he asked, voice firm but polite. "Lieutenant Colonel Davies, Regional Medical Compliance." Officer Miller briefed me. "I'm deeply sorry for this. Shall we speak to that technician?" Al, relieved and stunned by the swift response, nodded. With his cane, he rose and followed the colonel back inside. The atmosphere in Health First shifted. The moment Lieutenant Colonel Davies entered in full uniform. Shoppers paused. Staff stiffened. Brenda, busy with another customer, didn't notice them until the colonel reached the counter. He waited patiently, then addressed her, voice calm but edged with steel. "Are you pharmacy technician, Brenda?" She looked up, startled. Yes, sir. Can I help you?" "You can start," Davies said, eyes icy, "by explaining why you accused a decorated veteran of forgery and illegally destroyed his valid prescription for essential cardiac medication." Brenda's jaw dropped. Her face drained of color. It was handwritten, looked suspicious. Store policy. "Store policy doesn't override federal law," Davies cut in. "Nor does it let you practice medicine by declaring scripts fake without verification. Destroying that prescription was unethical and illegal, and you endangered this veteran's health." Mr. Henderson, the pharmacist, hurried over. "Is there a problem, Colonel?" "A significant problem," Davies replied. "Your technician committed a serious breach, potentially violating federal statutes for VA beneficiaries. Sergeant Finch will receive his medication now with a full apology. Then you, Health First's corporate office, and I will have a very long discussion." He pulled out a badge case, flipping it open to reveal credentials, not just as a military doctor, but as a federally deputized agent for the DoD Health Agency, tasked with investigating fraud and abuse in military veteran health care. "As a federal cyber agent," he said, locking eyes with Brenda, "I'll need your pharmacy license and store credentials. Now." Brenda trembled, fumbling for her wallet. The power to dispense medication had just met real authority. Mr. Henderson scrambled into damage control, apologizing profusely, personally calling Dr. Ramirez, who confirmed the script and berated the pharmacy, and filling Al's prescription immediately, waiving all charges. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel Davies documented Brenda's actions, collected her surrendered license, pending a state board review he would initiate, and suspended her on the spot. To Mr. Henderson, he made it clear. Health First faced a federal audit of its VA contract compliance, staff training, and prescription protocols. "This isn't about one prescription," Davies said. "It's about a systemic failure to respect those who served ensuring no veteran is denied care or treated with contempt due to ignorance or misapplied policy. After ensuring Al had his medication, Davies escorted him out. "Sergeant Finch," he said, "thank you for reporting this. You've likely spared other veterans the same mistreatment. The system isn't perfect, but when soldiers like you speak up, we fix it." Al, clutching his medication, felt vindicated. "Thank you, Colonel, for listening, for everything." "My duty, Sergeant," Davies replied, nodding respectfully. "Taking care of our own is the primary mission." Epilogue. Health First Pharmacy underwent a rigorous audit. Their VA contract was placed on probation. Brenda lost her pharmacy technician license. Mr. Henderson was demoted and retrained. The chain implemented mandatory annual training on VA benefits, ADA compliance, and veteran respect, with specific protocols for handwritten prescriptions. Al returned to his quiet life, but his ordeal became a catalyst for change, a reminder that even one voice, armed with truth and courage, can hold systems accountable. The oath to care for those who served doesn't end when the uniform comes off. Subscribe to Hidden Sparks if you believe veterans' health and dignity are non-negotiable, and that those who disrespect their service must be held accountable.